super stoked that you're here. I'm really stoked the weather's good. And again, thank you to everyone who came out this morning. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm Dave Elsoff. I'm the head of Dodge Communications. And honestly, this is as close to backstage at an Ice Cube concert as I'm ever going to get in my life. So I'm enjoying every second of it right now. Okay. We've got a great turnout. I appreciate all the media from in town and out of town who came in today. Thank you for that. We've got a lot of Dodge folks here. Appreciate them. Not only are they helping to put on this event, but this is kind of a spare time job for them because they're most of the time out there planning the next generation of cars, moving from our Hemi-powered muscle cars to an electrified muscle car future. So an opportunity for you to interact with them. And finally, we've got a great lineup of competitors. We're going to see some great custom-built cars here this morning. Our Grudge Race competitors, the Direct Connection Grudge Race, which will happen tomorrow. And before I get to them and get to the introductions of them, the teams, their cars, I want to introduce Matt McAleer. He's the head of Dodge Sales and Marketing. So, Matt.
Thanks, Dave. Oh, what a great place to be on a Friday. Heck of a lot better than being in the office, that's for sure. This is our 8th year at Roadkill Nights. I remember the first one, we were picking weeds out of the parking lot at the old Pontiac Silverdome, and the cars didn't even need brakes because the track went uphill. So we've come a long way. We're back on historic Woodward, some of the best pavement I think we've ever had for the 8th mile run. Cars are going to come right out here tomorrow, make the turn, and they're going to be racing right behind you in front of me. So, when we talk about the racing, we've got probably, I think it's over 100 registered, some of the fastest street legal cars in America, vying for up to $30,000 in prize money, small tire and big tire classes. It's going to be one heck of a day. Gates open at 10 o'clock, racing starts at 11, goes right to 7:30, where we shut everything down and turn this stage into a lot of fun with the award-winning rapper Ice Cube to close out the night from 8 to 9. It's going to be one heck of a day. We'll hope the weather holds off all day for us. We appreciate everybody coming out. One thing that I know a lot of the young ladies in the crowd are looking forward to is Alex Taylor is back this year, the defending 2-time Grudge Match champion. She's passing on the Grudge Match this year to race her big tire car, and there's a lot of people pulling for her. So, which opens up the Grudge Match to another fantastic year. This is the 3rd year we're doing the Grudge Match. And we twisted up a little bit this year. We know these guys are phenomenal builders, phenomenal racers, so we wanted to see how they are as coaches. So we teamed all of them up. They found a mentor, a rookie, or mentee, a rookie that hasn't raced before to go out and help them build these cars and race for their first time on Woodward, which is pretty cool and an iconic memory to have. So we gave each of them an SRT, Hellcat Red Eye motor, an ECU, their choice of transmission, and $15,000, and probably one of the quickest build times in history, under 6 weeks. So we definitely put the screws to them. We're going to find out who comes out on top tomorrow, and it's going to be one heck of a day. John Hammer is going to take you through all these cars in a few minutes. One other thing, if you're not into seeing cars run down the track, we have a whole lot of other things for you. Behind me, we have Charger and Challenger SRT drift rides. We've got thrill rides out on the street. We have TRX Ram truck rides. We have Hornet, the all-new Dodge Hornet compact utility vehicle. We have street drives in that for people that are interested. We have the Raminator crushing cars. We've got our Midway with the direct connection alley for all the performance parts you want. Great food trucks. We've got great restaurants here in Pontiac. And in fact, we have a classic and modern car show on Saginaw, the main street here through Pontiac. Open to the public, free for those that want to come out and hang out and be part of the festivities. Will be one enjoyable day for families alike. That'll all be live streamed on MotorTrend TV that you can also watch on Dodge.com and DodgeGarage.com. So again, thanks for coming out. I'm going to turn it over to John Hammer, who's going to walk you through these incredible vehicles.
We are really excited to share this event with you. You're surrounded by gearheads, whether you're even a Mopar person or not. It doesn't really matter because, and I will lean off to Ralph Gilles, and Ralph's got a great line. He says, we come for the cars, but we stay for the people. And that's really what's going on here this week at Woodward and here at Roadkill Nights powered by Dodge. Now, that said, I got some help, too. I can't do this by myself. You recognize the hat, man. That's kind of become a trademark for you there, KJ.
It's become somewhat of a signature, John, over
like
the years, you know, and now it's becoming a trending signature. I saw a gentleman, 1, 2, how many more can I count out here? Everybody's wearing a bucket hat, and I'm not getting paid.
Well, you know what? It's a great look. It sets you apart, and that's what's going on here. Each of these cars, each of these teams, they've worked really hard to set themselves apart. We've got 3 returning folks, teams that are going to be here. We're going to talk with them, and we've got 3 teams that are complete and total newbies. They've not been here to Roadkill before. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see. I know I'd like to dig in a little bit and maybe see what their mindset is, but we'll kind of work our way. What do you have as we're just getting started, though? Thoughts on the event? You've been here before.
This is my 3rd time at Roadkill Nights, and it's one of the most bitchin' events that you can have in motorsports, honestly. It's a good enthusiasts program. It's a great racer program. I mean, where else can you legally street race in America? You can't. You can only do it right here. So it's one of my favorite times, and I'm really glad to be here.
Well, it's cool. Let's get going with the first guys over here. Let's talk to the folks from Throttle, some of our returners. Ricky, I'm going to come over to you because the format that we've got, the way we've got it set up here, we're talking about having mentors and then having rookies in the car. Now, your rookie in the car isn't exactly a rookie, but maybe to drag racing. Tell me a little bit about Throttle. Tell me about your story. Kind of give me that.
All right, so my name is Ricky Fernandez. I am a content creator for a YouTube channel named Throttle, and I've been with the company for about 5 years. And when it comes to drag racing, this is my 3rd year doing it with you guys. I've never drag raced before, so I'm a 3-year expert on drag racing, drag racing the cars. So Throttle is a company that we have a little over 2 million subscribers, and we build cars from junkyard cars to make them look like show quality, SEMA quality cars. We build everything. So. This is one of the cars that we did, and it was a great experience because taking a V10 out of a Viper and putting a V8 supercharged, Hell Carrera engine, it was the Viper community took that very hard, and they didn't really like us that much. We're getting a lot better feedback from them now because they've seen the car perform. I'm super excited to be here, and this is still pretty much a streetable car. Full interior, the engine bay looks like Dodge made the swap. We made a very fabric-looking type, OEM type as possible. And yeah, we have a full running car here. Yeah,
well, what's really cool is, again, to your point, 3 years ago, you'd not done any drag racing. Now you're here as a mentor. You've got to now teach your non-drag racing compatriot, right, how to do this. So kind of, what have you done to kind of get Quinn up to speed?
So Quinn he's not new to a car because he's a very great builder and he's a drifter, so he can drift the car, but he's never been down the track when it comes to drag racing. So we got to spend 1 or 2 track days with him. I took over the first day because I needed to get familiarized with the car before coming here, and then the second day we spent a lot of time with him, and I'm super proud, and I can't wait to see him behind the wheel and see him go down the track.
Well, that's cool. Since you're standing there, KJ, Quinn, I mean, help us out here, man. What's it like to get behind the wheel of a dragster for the first time?
Very different. So the cars that I drift are like around the 200, 300, 400 horsepower mark. So going to this, which is like 1,200, completely different experience.
Yeah, it's just like drifting except completely different. Yeah, exactly.
So the burnout was easy.
The burnout was the easiest part, yeah.
All right, fellas, well, let's uncover the thing and show it to the world. This is what Throttle's brought to Roadkill Nights, powered by Dodge. Woo, yeah. Ricky wasn't kidding. Last year, the Viper world was. I'll just say it. They were upset, man. They were pissed. They're like, "What have you done, man?" And then you showed it worked, right? And I know you've made some tweaks for this year as well. So big excitement. They're looking forward to it. Tony, that's big. That's big shoes to fill over here, man. So. Talk to me a little bit about your story, you guys. Again, you're back here now. This is 2nd year for you. And you had a little bit of a scramble here because the chassis you were planning on using wound up not being, and now you've got something else here. Give us the quick nickel story on that.
So my name's Tony. I own a shop called American Legends. We're out of Phoenix, and I run a channel called Corruptt Builds, where that's more kind of my personal stuff that we get to do, which is typically pretty far outside the box. So this year, we ran into some pretty big issues more towards the end. So there was some talk about how we had 6 weeks, but we probably had 3 weeks to do this. So we originally were building a 1970 Dodge Dart, and what transpired was the time frame and everything. We basically made kind of like a Hail Mary decision to make a phone call and purchase a car that we had last year. So kind of like Throttle, we have the same vehicle we had last year, except the entire time somebody else owned it, because we had sold it in November. So we purchased this car back with no engine, no fuel system, and a couple other things missing. And so when the engine showed up, it was a mad dash to get this car done. Yeah. So,
well, that brings up. Go ahead, KJ. Yeah.
When you got rid of this car, did you sell it turnkey, and someone was actually racing it, and then took it apart and gave it back to you?
The guy's plan when he bought it was to take the Dodge platform to another level, like far beyond, I guess, what a manufacturer-built engine is capable of. He wanted to end up with 2 to 2,200 horsepower in this car. The chassis, the transmission, it was all capable of it. So he'd pulled the engine out for a different project and was in the process of building something for this when we made the phone call and was like, we really need this car back.
So in buying the car back, you had to pay a little extra to get it back.
Unfortunately.
That's right. He knew you needed it, right?
It was.
Yeah. The price is in comparison to how badly you.
That was the rock and the hard place.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. All right. So Kayla, tell us about your years and years and years of drag racing experience.
Oh yeah, I drive 2,000 horsepower cars every day of my life. I'm very excited to get behind this wheel. I have yet to make a full pass in this car, so this competition will be my first full pass.
Tell me about that too, because you're not just going out on a drag strip. I mean, this is the legendary Woodward Avenue. I mean, this is literally the things that mythical stories are built on this road. This is not a properly, and I'm going to use the air quotes, properly prepped drag strip where you're going to have tons of hookup and whatnot. So is it good that you don't know what you don't know?
Maybe. I'm definitely a little nervous. But yeah, I did get a little bit of practice thanks to Radford Racing School, who's here. So I did race in the Dodge Demon. But yeah, I would say just throw me in, tell me to put my foot to the floor and hope for the best.
There it is. Absolutely.
KJ, do you remember the first time that you ever got behind the wheel on a drag strip?
I do. I talk about it often. My left leg, stick car, is a Mustang, 5-liter Mustang with a stick. My left leg was jiggling uncontrollably to the point where I couldn't shift gears because I couldn't get the clutch pedal down. I was that nervous.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do remember it vividly.
Don't listen to him. You have nothing to worry about.
Just in
what
one
are
ear,
you
out
doing?
the other.
Don't scare the lady, man.
I'm lying.
All right. Well, you guys, let's show everybody the car that you've brought today. The Corruptt build team. Oh, she looks pretty. She looks pretty.
Looks pretty familiar.
It does look. The first two cars
looks pretty
look
familiar.
kind of familiar, don't
Can I
they?
say something? I understand. I understand your hardship. These guys. Let's get to some originality over here, John. Let's get to some originality.
Oh, a little trash talking over here. Speaking of trash talking, hey Herman, how's it going, buddy?
What's going on, my brother?
How you been, man? You been good?
I'm doing good, man.
It's a shame that we only get to see each other once a year, but it's fun following you on social. Your social's great. In fact, KJ and I were talking about how much smack talk
Instagram
you're
Live,
down, man.
Instagram Live, Instagram Live, Instagram Live.
So,
Instagram Live.
you did not bring the same car back. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with this build, son.
Well, unlike
he took the mic from John. He snatched the mic out of John's hand.
Unlike these loafers over here, I decided to build a car. I could have brought my car from last year because it was built to kill, but it would have been unfair for you guys. So I partnered up with Bailey's High Performance. They build the fastest Mopars, period. I gave them a task, and we got this car together in 3 weeks, and it was a hard build, but we did it.
Yeah. All right, tell me about Lee and throwing him in the car.
Put the mic in his face, please.
So
put the mic in his face.
So this is not Lee. This is Dwayne Billow. This is my secret weapon. This guy is the #1 Holly tuner out of Texas for no prep. So this is my secret weapon. But this is the guy that got the car. Lee, tell us where we got this car from and what you do.
The salvage auction. That's what I do. Drag cars out of salvage auction and try to build something cool. And we took this one out of a Copart in Texas and handed it off to Bailey's, and they killed it.
A quick question: with this being the Challenger King, what? Well, we'll have to wait on this question. Actually, we have to wait for. We can actually, if you've been watching these videos, you know it's clearly not a Challenger that they're working with. It's a Charger. What was the decision, or who made that decision to go with a Charger, and why?
It's all we could afford.
But trust me, we tried to get a Challenger, but we couldn't afford a Challenger. We could afford the Charger, but the Charger has a longer wheelbase. So we're hoping that that's not going to get squirrely. Since he's my rookie driver, I didn't want to put him in something so tight like some other cars I saw go up in the air and get crazy. I want him to be able to go straight down the track.
Have you driven down the drag strip at all? Ever
I have. Years ago, stick car stuff. I'm kind of familiar
Was
with
your left
it.
leg jiggling? Left
It
leg?
was originally, yeah, just like you. We all went through that, I think. But we got this thing set up. I figured it out in a parking lot this morning. I haven't driven it yet. First time's going to be tomorrow.
Wow.
Take your mic back, John.
That's a whole different level, man. I mean, seriously, nothing to be worried about, fellas. Let's take a look at this car and see what the guys have got. Team Stole Silverback.
Trouble. They're in trouble already.
Rumor has it they drive better than they reveal. It is pretty though. I mean, it looks good. It looks good. I know that's not what makes it a car fast.
Snatching soul.
Hey, that's all right. They're going to all eat it from the back. They know what I'm talking about.
Backwards says driving Miss Daisy.
All right, now seriously, Tom. Now, if anybody's gonna back him up on talking trash, it would be you. I mean, this whole morning, you two knuckleheads have been going back and forth, man. Good-natured rivalry, of course.
No, it's not good-natured at all. Literally, all he's going to see is the bumper pieces that are going to spit off this onto his car as he's getting gapped.
Let me interject something here. You guys listening to this? Feel free to engage in the same type of back and forth when you guys are racing in tomorrow. We need that type of energy. Talking trash is one of the biggest elements of street racing. No, Herman. No. Get away.
Now, I will say, so again, now we're making the transition here, from the middle of this whole deal, right? From the veterans, the legacy drivers, to our new folks who haven't been here before. And from a mindset, when Dodge first approaches and says, hey, listen, we're going to throw a motor and a couple of bucks at you, what do you say you come drag race? I mean, do you immediately jump on it? Do you scratch your head and go, where's it go?
Oh, no, you love the idea of the challenge. So, I mean, it's just, hey, you give it, and, hey, we got this much time to build. Now we got this much time to build. Now we got this time much to build. Hey, you're going to get everything. Can you race next week? But it's all good, and that time frame actually just makes it cooler because we could have refined a lot more. We could have been a lot better with a bigger time frame, but it's cool, the crunch, that literally you're just stuck with what you got, and this is what we got.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, Tom, your shop, you're here, you're a local guy. Do you have any kind of, I mean, obviously you know the legend of Woodward, but how are you from a street racing standpoint as opposed to going out to the track? Do you have an advantage that way?
Street racing's illegal. You should always race at the track.
How about that?
I'm sorry.
Good answer.
No prep. Wrong words.
Good answer.
That's me.
But no, I mean, I've done the Roadkill night since the inception. I won it the first year that we raced on Woodward with 1.0, one of my cars, and I mean, our background is drag racing, so 6 seconds, that's drag and drive stuff, so all street legal stuff. So I mean, it falls great within our wheelhouse, and then love working with the Mopar platform. I mean, the Dodge platform. I mean, it's been awesome, and there's been a lot of stuff that we've learned in this, and I mean, it's just crazy the potential that exists in a motor you can pick up at the dealership, and you can have in a car and running. I mean, it came with everything. So
Plug
I
it
mean,
up.
literally within a week,
Plug it
you
up,
got this
yeah.
in a car running, making 800 horsepower.
It's
Now we
amazing.
made a couple modifications to it to get a little more out of it, but I mean, that's what's crazy. Like literally a big box.
Great.
So you take it,
Great.
you shove it in, you plug in some wires, and you hook up a battery, and hey, now you're as fast as Herman. Like, but then if you want to modify it a little bit, then you can actually be like a real racer. So
You had your time. You had your time. You had your time. Herman, no.
How can you possibly deal with this kind of attitude constantly, right?
Oh yeah, you get used to it.
So you're he's recruiting over here. So driving this thing, you self-proclaimed, it's not your world from behind the wheel. How are you prepping for this?
We had 1 day of testing, just to get
Had
a
a
feel
hell of
for
a
the
night
car.
of testing too, huh?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, broke a couple things, smashed the oil pan.
You got to explain how that happened. Come on now.
All right, so this thing does pretty mad wheelies. We found out on Wednesday. And then on one of my passes, I did a wheelie, came down, slammed the ground, oil pan.
That's, yeah. So now, are you going to have to, did you tweak the car or do you have to tweak the driver to make that work better out here on Woodward?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
it's still full send.
Full
Full send. It'll be fine. Like, just don't lift this time. It'll come down eventually because it is not going to go over backwards.
Why am I seeing some sort of a Harry Hog reference right here from Days of Thunder? Cole, it's okay, it will stick. Just send it, right? Yeah.
Here's a question, John, for you, EJ, for people who are not familiar with drag racing and certainly haven't experienced a wheelie. What did that feel like from your position in the driver's seat?
Well, so we knew it's an altered wheelbase car, so they do wheelies. Sure. But I didn't know it was going to happen on that pass because we had it tuned back a little bit. But
We said we had a special tune-up in it. It's not going to wheelie. Just keep your
yeah,
foot to the floor.
quote unquote, it won't wheelie, so just get a feel for it. So I let off the trans brake and I was looking at the sky before I knew it. And then
Tell me you've got an in-car video.
Oh, there's in-car
Do you?
video.
Yeah? Oh, I totally
watched
gotta
it
see
like
that.
8,000 times the other night. Yeah, it's amazing. It's good for you, though. It's a good experience. And as you go forward, getting faster and getting more comfortable in the car, it's not for nothing to be like a piece of cake.
Cool. Well, let's take a look. Let's see this car that goes airborne.
Herman, which way do we pull this?
Yeah. Woo! I mean, that thing looks proper old school race car.
That's what I'm sitting here
KJ.
thinking now. Imagine literally back in the day and seeing a car like this racing on Woodward Avenue.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. I have a question though, Tom. Why altered wheelbase? Why like an AFX, a true AFX type car?
Weight transfer. I mean,
Yeah.
this style turned into a funny car within 2 years. So, like, literally, this came from the factory, Dodge and Plymouth, and they were making these at the factory. And this is a replica of one that was raced at the old Detroit Dragway here. So,
Oh, cool.
Bill McKesson built the car as a replica to as one that within 2 years they turned into what we know as funny cars. So, and I mean, the old way to do it when you couldn't figure out everything with suspension is move the back axle forward, move the front axle forward, you get better weight transfer.
Weight transfer, and do you have in the trunk or in the back of it like 250 pounds tied to the bottom of it as well?
No, you don't need to because the weight transfer is so good on this that obviously you'll stand up. I mean, this is, I mean, it's the sick bastard's car, but this really is the soul snatcher because Herman is not going to have a soul when this is done. He's just going to go crying back to Texas.
It's a sick bastard right here, man. You
I love it, man. It's great. All right, let's move on to the next one. One of these is not like the other, Justin.
No, it's way different. Way different.
All right, tell me your story because I mean, for folks who do know you, I mean, dude, you've started a bit of a craze in the world with your events.
Yeah, so I co-own an event called Streetcar Takeover. We're one of the nation's largest drag racing events, and I own a shop in Kansas City. We do late model performance stuff. We also specialize in building 90s trucks with putting all new modern guts in them, and we do a little bit of YouTube. Yeah, I'm kind of everywhere.
Well, this one clearly obviously, we've done a truck right here, and it's Team Truck Yeah over here. This one, you were telling me a little while ago, pretty unique find, and I want to ask you where you found it, because this is a one-owner, 60,000-mile truck. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, so my formula is finding, low mile trucks, and I put all new stuff in them. This truck was in Indianapolis, Indiana. It was actually an estate sale. The guy owned it his whole life, and he was he worked for Dodge for Chrysler for 40 years, retired, and his son was selling the truck, and I told him what I was doing with it, and he thought it was just so cool. And it was a Don Gartlett's edition truck. So it says Big Daddy on the back.
That's crazy.
They only made like 200 of them.
That's crazy.
So we kind of left some Don Gartlett stuff still on the truck. And I showed pictures to his son just last night. And his son was like, man, my dad was still alive. He would love what you guys do with the truck. So we gave it a new life.
Yeah.
That's cool. Did you get it for $1?
I wish.
That's cool. That's all right. Okay, so now, Lacey, I want to. Hey, how's it going? So tell me about your. Again, we joked about all of our rookies not having a ton of experience behind the wheel. Tell us about yours. What have you been doing?
So I may possibly be the least experienced person here, but that's okay because I'm excited and I'm not scared and I'm ready to rip.
That's fair enough. How do you get ready for it if you've not done anything? I mean, we're talking about 1,000 horsepower vehicles here. I mean, you were in some serious. Well, I mean, we're kidding and joking a lot here, but this is some serious stuff. Do you, in the back of your brain, are you going, I better not screw up. This could hurt.
I mean, yeah, definitely, but I think the first step to making a mistake is being scared. So, careful, but don't be scared.
Yeah. That sounds like your left leg.
Overcome your nerves. It gets there.
And I've got an awesome mentor right here, too.
And there's a great point here, because to get everybody up to speed, we've got to give advice. What's the best advice that you've gotten from this?
Don't tell them our secrets.
No secret revealing.
Oh, maybe I can't tell you because that'll give it away.
Uh-oh.
Oh, whoa. She's throwing it out on the track.
Yeah,
Apparently that's the prep right there. Keep your mouth shut and your foot down. Yeah.
Mash the gas.
Maybe I am the least experienced. Maybe I'm not. Maybe we're hustling, y'all.
Uh-oh. You catching this? Are you guys catching all this?
All right, well, let's see this thing, this Big Daddy Don Gartlett's truck. Let's see what we've got here from Team Truck Yeah.
Wow. Oh
I mean,
my God.
seriously, right? Wow, look at that thing.
Look at that.
I'll tell you honestly, guys, I was watching the build online, and I was telling some friends of mine last night, I went to go see Darius Rucker last night, and we're at the concert, and I'm saying, man, I'm like, if this truck is half as good looking in person as it is in the photos, it's awesome. I mean, I don't know if it runs for squat, but it looks great, man.
There's that, but it's
really slow, he says, yeah, perfect.
This is really lined out pretty nice, just on first glance, so I don't know.
Right.
There's a shot.
For sure. Okay, so let's move on to our final one. Hey, Rob, you are about... Come on over here just so everybody can kind of maybe a little easier to see. We have had a bit of an unfortunate tradition the last few years here at Roadkill Nights powered by Dodge. We have had cars not show up for the media event. I mean, literally, right? And then we got here, and your car wasn't here. And we're like, oh, no, not again. The curse strikes. Give us a quick background story, man. What's going on?
Yeah, these three guys behind me are this is the whole team that built this car in 3 weeks, and they drove it, each taking turns from LA directly to this event. And so they made it in time.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. But seriously, you thought maybe they'd be here by 11. They showed up at about 10:30. I mean, you got just enough time to get it off the trailer, right? How cool is that, man? So tell us about the experience of coming here and being part of this whole program.
Well, first of all, this isn't a rotary engine, and so this is not my wheelhouse at all. I've never worked on a piston vehicle. Yeah. So it was very exciting to unbox that crate engine and see it was massive and know that would work. It was not the fragile part of the car. Right. And so we decided to surprise Erica, my girlfriend, with her dream car. This is literally her dream car. Like Dodge made the shakedown to show off the 392, the crate motor. Yep. And so we figured that her dream car is that same thing, but like with the ultimate engine. Yeah. And so I bought this from a gentleman who worked for Dodge, helping build dealerships on the West Coast, and it was numbers matching, but it was the perfect car, a project car that was bone stock, and so we got it running. I flew her dad in, and we surprised her with the car, the engine, and her dad driving it into the garage.
Oh, man. Wow, that sounds like one of those TV shows, right? Yeah, it's
exciting.
perfect. Yeah, like a perfect reveal.
Tearjerker moment.
Overwhelming in the best possible way. I mean, first it was gonna be an inline six, and so the first surprise was the engine. He walks me into the garage, and I see the engine. I'm like, this is insane. Okay, great. So where's the Prowler? And so the second surprise was my dad drives the Challenger into the garage after the engine. I couldn't even fathom what was going on.
So she owns a 2016 Hellcat. Like she's owned Challengers, all the new model Challengers from the base model all the way up, and so, I mean, she loved those because of these, and so this is her forever car. And so when we went to building this in 3 weeks, our goal was to build a car that lasted longer than this event. So my priority was putting AC in it. That's why we're gonna be yeah.
Oh, great! Yeah, we had to basically restore the frame. It was completely rusted, very, very flimsy, super old. It was definitely 71. So we worked on that first and then kind of added what we had to after.
Erica, I've got a question for you. So you and Rob are a thing, huh? What's it like to do a project like this with someone that you're in a relationship with? Is this a widowmaker, or is this great?
That's a great question, because I think this is something that we always wanted to do, like years down the line. I never ever foresaw this coming as soon as it did. So we always talked about it. We always pipe dreamed about this car, and so to do it so soon, especially with the love of my life, it's just it's a dream.
And to do it with kind of Dodge's blessing, this is such a pinnacle of internal combustion engines, and so just to have this sort of event with it, it makes it so special. So it was worth I think all of us didn't sleep the last 3 nights wrenching on this car, and you're zoned out, but you realize at the end of the day it was totally worth it.
Well, that goes back to that line we were talking about earlier, how you come for the cars, but you stay for the people.
Stay for the people. That's just it. And talking about wrenching, this car broke some wrenches. I recall watching one of your videos.
I broke the torque wrench.
I broke a torque wrench.
That's a good thing, right?
Let's put a bowling ball in a sand pit for you, okay? Let's see how that works out.
Thankfully, I didn't touch anything on the engine yet, so we're good. We're good.
Right on. Fair enough. Well, let's show everybody what this thing looks like. He's never done a piston-powered engine before, but here we go. Let me get out of your way, guys.
Numbers matching. Take a numbers matching Challenger and do this.
And I got no problem with that.
No, I'm good with it. I mean, I've done my fair share of stuff like that, so I'm okay with it. I co-sign.
You bring up a good point, though, because folks in the hobby, air quote the hobby, they usually say you're such a tool for cutting up a great car, right?
Correct.
And yet at the same time they always say start with the best car you can start with. So it's kind of you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I mean, clearly you've got it put together here. All right, Erica, how many passes do you have in this thing? Okay.
0.
Nice.
0.
Well, that's cool. You guys, this is everybody that we've got so far here for the Grudge match here in 2023 at Roadkill Nights powered by Dodge.
MotorTrend presents Roadkill Nights powered
Well
by
done. Your thoughts, sir. What do you think of the competition? If you're going to handicap, what are you going to think?
Wow. I tell you what, it's going to be interesting because all of the cars, these builds look amazing. And credit to the guys that reuse their cars. I mean, that's fine. The builds look amazing. They were done in such a short window of time that you have to really acknowledge everybody by a round of applause.
Absolutely, for sure.
Everybody for getting them done and getting them here. As far as handicapping, it's difficult because you got to lean towards the guys that have done this. They know the street for all intents and purposes. We're on another area of the street that's going to work a lot better than the area that we were in before.
Yeah.
I've got a nod towards the OGs right now, but looking at this truck, if it runs as good as it looks, that's textbook. If it runs as good as it looks, it's gonna be good.
And then we throw in the variable of rookie drivers as well who've not done this before, who are they're going to be sitting in this car. They're going to be strapped into these cars tomorrow at the starting line and thinking, okay, what did my mentor say? What did they say? What was it? Was it gas, clutch, wait, push the button, hold it, go on yellow, third yellow.
And the thing that we didn't ask, John, was how much mentor consultation was there over the phone or through Zoom or however, because a lot of them, they don't live in the same house like these two. You know what I mean? They live in different areas of the country. So this collaboration is going to be interesting. And all of the mentors have experience. They know what to do. So it's really going to be something to watch to see how they guide the people that have not engaged in anything like this, how they literally guide them down the track.
We can sit here and run our mouths all we want, but at the end of the day, it comes down to what happens out on this racetrack. Tomorrow here, the grudge match, it continues, third year in a row. We're thrilled that all of you guys are here. Thank all of you for being a part of it. At this point, let me run it right back on up. Matt, I know you're up there up on the stage. What do you think? What's your thought from the headquarters view?
You know, it looks incredible. I appreciate all the support. Everybody coming out, the 40,000 plus fans that will be here tomorrow, appreciate it. Thank you for the time. I know it was a hard work, short time frame. Truly appreciate it. And this event can't be pulled off without a whole lot of help. And we'd like to thank our partners at MotorTrend. They've been a terrific partner since we started this thing with the Roadkill Nights property. They're fantastic to work with. The city of Pontiac, we had to move venues this year. Construction going on down on Woodward by M1, and the city of Pontiac has been fantastic in helping pull this off. It's got a great vibe. It'll be a great day. Allowed us to do some new things, keep the event fresh and different for all of those that come out. We'd like to thank Holly, Mickey Thompson, and Aeromotive for their support with parts for these builds if the team so has chosen. Radford Racing, who opened up their school for the mentees to come on down and practice their skills and get some tips. And before I miss anything else, lastly, I want to thank the Mopar CAP students for coming out today. It's a great time to be an automotive technician. They're here. If there's anybody interested, please seek them out. Let's continue to build that base and make this a great industry for the future. So with that, if there's anybody that has any questions, we've got a lot of people from our team here, experts on direct connection, experts on the Charger Challenger, the Hellcat, happy to answer any questions and help out where we can. So thank you.
They're not necessarily, drivers aren't necessarily using the paddles or shifting the cars. It's just put it in D now. You shift the car in D, and then you can go down really quickly with the
Never mind me. I'm not giving away any secrets here, am I? How's it going? Good, I'm good. How you doing? Good. Good luck to
Carlisle, Pennsylvania, Chrysler Nationals. Got to drive that up into the bleachers, give a little walk over to the vehicle. Quarter mile time on that is.
It's like, you see the driving
Can I see it? Show me. Let me see. Same thing? I'll be back. Thank you. Yeah, real cool. Let me see. I always kind of like
Yeah.